All right, in part 2 of our velocity video, I guess is what we're calling it. What we have here is we still have average velocity, but what we'd like to do is we'd like to try and kind of make a guesstimate about instantaneous velocity. So in the first video, we looked at the time frame from 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. And look at my fancy picture. 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Woohoo! Okay, what we'd like to do is we'd like to shorten this window of time. So by shortening this window of time, it's going to move this dot closer and closer and closer. So what I'm interested in is getting a time really, really close to the number 2. How close? Pretty stinking close. Like 2.01 seconds, 2.001 seconds, that sort of idea. So what we want to do is we want to find the average velocity from 2 to 2.01 seconds, or you could throw another 0 in there. And what should happen is that when we calculate the average velocity on this window, it should be super close to what the instantaneous velocity is. Okay, how close? Just round, people, just round. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out the average velocity on this window and use that to guesstimate the instantaneous. Okay, so here's how this is gonna work. Just like we did in the last video, my average velocity for this window would be, we need to figure out the position at 2.01 seconds. Figure out the position at 2 seconds, which I believe we did in the last video. And then we'll have that. Okay, so for 2.01 seconds, I'm going to have negative 16 times 2.01 squared minus, plus 128 times 2.01. Right? Right. Okay, so grabbing my calculator, negative 16 times 2.01 squared plus 128 times 2.01 is 192.6384. Super important. Keep all of those decimal places, guys. Do not drop them. I know I said earlier we're going to round, but we're not going to round until I finish out the entire division. Okay? Okay, so that is that first number. This, in the last video, we found out was 192. Can you see why we need all those decimal places, right? You seeing it? Okay. And then down here on the bottom, 2.01 minus 2 is 0.01. Okay. So when you put this into your calculator, what you're going to end up with is basically 0.6384 divided by 0.01, which is 63.84. Okay, so what we figured out is that the average velocity on this tiny window of time, super tiny window of time, is 63.84 feet per second. So if they asked me then, what do I think the instantaneous velocity is at t is 2 seconds, since 2 is my lower bound on this, okay, I would go ahead and take this and round it. Go ahead and round it to the nearest whole number. So the nearest whole number would be 64. Okay, so my best guess is that this will be 64 feet per second. Okay, now, interesting fun fact. If we wanted to figure out the instantaneous velocity at 3 seconds, we couldn't use any of these calculations. If you want to know the instantaneous velocity at 3 seconds, I would want a 3 here, and I'd want a 3.01 over here. Playing along? If I want to know the instantaneous velocity at 4 seconds, I need a 4 here and a 4.01. Okay, so whatever number, spot that I want my instantaneous velocity at, that's what I need my lower bound of my time interval to be. All right. Good luck.